Yeah, so could you tell me please that when did you arrive and what is your major job here?
Okay, we arrived at the beginning of March already, and at that time, Madika was not so many tents. It was my other colleagues who start here working with refugees first. So this would be the first tent we set up, and then around 9th or 10th of March, we set up these two big tents. One is 240 square meters and one is 50 square meters. So we supply the warm food, warm shelter, and free power loading and Wi-Fi to the refugees, and some at the beginning some medication, but later on the compound they organize and then actually they have Medicare over there already.
Yeah, there are many like international organizations here. What do you see? What is the biggest need? How much is the cooperation? How big is the cooperation between people? And what is the biggest need the refugees need?
The food, of course, and the rest. Somewhere warm. You know, today it's warm, but actually last week it was always cold, very, very cold here. So when they come, also the bus is running very smoothly now, but before the bus is not so smoothly coming. So then refugees, they have nowhere to stay in this cold weather. Then they come into our tent and it's warm inside, and we offer coffee, instant noodle, and some other snacks, and we have even a children's center. We have a children corner for kids to relax, forget about this disaster for a while.
Can I ask your name, please, and the organization?
My name is Wen Yao, and our organization is Rule of Law Foundation, and we represent the new federal state of China. It's a state against the Chinese Communism Party.
Since you mentioned, I want to ask.
No problem.
Because like when we talk about politics, it's a big gap between the East and the West. So what do you think, or what do you represent? What kind of views about this war, or what do you think about this war?
Very good question. You see, just days before, a Ukraine woman. She sits in our tent with her own mother and her own kids, 3 generations. And she looked at me at the beginning in a strange way. Finally, she asked me, "Are you Chinese?" I said, "Yes, we are Chinese." "Do you know," she asked me, "do you know that China government is helping Russia government invading us?" I said, "Yes, I know. And that's exactly why we are here, help you. Because we are Chinese, we want to take down this Chinese communism dictatorship party. We do not agree with them. They start a war, or they are part of the war. But we are the normal people, so we help normal people for humanity."
Well, I'm really glad we could talk about this, and aren't you afraid of the system at home? Aren't you afraid of...
No, not anymore. When we all stand out, me and my colleagues, our face is already controlled by government. We cannot go back anymore. If we go back, we will be disappeared and locked up. And even some family members of my colleagues is already locked up in China. It's very normal for dictatorship regime. Like the old Soviet Union, like North Korea, like Iran, these 5 evil countries, it's all the same. If we don't fight, we don't have a future. Very simple.
See, I was talking to volunteers from Russia, from Belarus, and now you are here from China, so obviously many people want to represent that they are not thinking the way their government does.
Thank you. Exactly. Yes. They are the politicians for their own desire. The normal people suffer, and we are normal people. We should help the people who is suffering. So we do not agree with this dictatorship Chinese Communism Party. We are the one who is taking them down. So we help the humanity here of Ukrainian people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.